In the heart of Serenity Falls stood the Grand Serenity Opera House, an emblem of the city's cultural heritage, now shrouded in an eerie mystery. This architectural masterpiece, a symbol of the city's vibrant art scene, has recently become the epicenter of a peculiar enigma that has left the city's inhabitants puzzled and intrigued. The Opera House, known for hosting world-renowned musicians and artists, has always been alive with the rhythm of violins, the harmony of cellos, and the grandeur of pianos. However, strange incidents have begun to unfold within its ornate walls. Late at night, when the Opera House is empty and the echoes of the day's performances have subsided, haunting melodies of a piano can be heard reverberating through its grand halls. The music, played with such skill and passion, fills the air, yet no pianist can be found. The security guards on duty swear they've heard the music, an ethereal symphony that resonates in the silence of the night. Yet each time they venture into the concert hall, they find no sign of anyone at the piano. The instrument sits silently in the moonlight, its keys untouched, adding to the conundrum. In light of these mysterious occurrences, the Opera House management has called upon a seasoned detective, known for his knack for untangling the most intricate webs of enigma. Detective James, with his reputation of solving baffling mysteries, has stepped into the picture, hoping to decipher the underlying truth of this peculiar case. Upon his arrival, Detective James is greeted by the anxious director, Mr. Hawthorne. As they walk through the elegant corridors of the Opera House, Mr. Hawthorne recounts the incidents, his voice echoing the unease that has seeped into the Opera House. James listens intently, his mind already whirring with theories and questions. As Detective James stepped into the moonlit concert hall, a faint scent of roses hung in the air, adding to the mystery. With the stage set for a night of investigation, James prepares to delve deeper into the enigma, his senses alert, ready to uncover the secrets of the Serenity Opera House. Armed with his keen senses and a reputation for solving baffling mysteries, Detective James began his investigation. The Opera House director, Mr. Hawthorne, welcomed him with a mix of relief and anxiety. As they strolled through the grand corridors, Mr. Hawthorne relayed the puzzling occurrences. The late-night melodies, beautiful yet eerie, echoed in the empty opera house, seemingly without a source. James listened thoughtfully, taking in the details. The detective's eyes scanned the opulent surroundings, pausing at the grand concert hall. Bathed in moonlight, it was a sight to behold, yet James noted a faint, out-of-place scent of roses. Intriguing. Probing further, James asked Mr. Hawthorne about any other unusual occurrences. Missing items? Signs of forced entry? Mr. Hawthorne shook his head, reinforcing the baffling nature of the situation. "It's as if the music materializes out of thin air," he murmured. Taking in all the information, James decided to immerse himself in the mystery. A stakeout at the Opera House was in order. As dusk fell, he prepared himself for a long night. Alone in the dimly lit concert hall, he sat, his senses heightened, ready for any sound or movement. The night deepened, the silence of the Opera House only broken by the occasional creak. Time seemed to slow, the anticipation growing. James kept his eyes trained on the stage, his mind running through the possibilities. As the music echoed through the hall, James spotted a soft, ethereal glow enveloping the grand piano on the stage. A surreal sight unraveled before his eyes. The keys of the piano moved with a graceful rhythm. The melody they produced was haunting yet captivating. Yet there was no one seated behind the instrument. No one that James could see, at least. His eyes were drawn to a shimmering figure barely visible seated at the piano bench. It was a spectral apparition, a phantom pianist. The figure was transparent, almost blending into the surroundings, yet it radiated a gentle light that seemed to dance with the music's rhythm. The phantom pianist played with an intensity that was almost palpable, her hands moving over the keys with a passion that was mesmerizing. She seemed lost in the music, her focus so intense that she appeared oblivious to James's presence. It was as if the music was a part of her very being that she was pouring into each note she played. James stood frozen, his detective instincts momentarily forgotten. He was entranced by the sight, his mind struggling to comprehend what his eyes were witnessing. He was an investigator trained to seek the truth, to solve mysteries, but this This was beyond anything he had ever encountered. He watched in awe as the Phantom Pianist continued to play, her ethereal form flickering in the dim light. The music filled the room, a haunting melody that echoed off the grand walls of the opera house. It was a beautiful yet melancholy tune, one that spoke of longing and unfulfilled dreams. James felt a chill run down his spine as he watched the Phantom Pianist. He could see her, yet she was not really there. He could hear the music she was playing, yet the piano was untouched by human hands. This was a mystery unlike any other he had ever faced. As he stood there, watching the Phantom Pianist, James realized something. This was no ordinary case of trespassing. This was not a prank or a trick. This was something far more extraordinary. He was witnessing a phenomenon that was beyond the realm of the ordinary, beyond the realm of the explainable. He was in the presence of a ghost, a phantom pianist who had found solace in the music she loved. And as he watched her play, James felt a sense of awe that was both unnerving and fascinating. This was no ordinary case of trespassing, but something far more extraordinary. As the music reached its poignant climax, James mustered the courage to address the Phantom Pianist. He stepped forward carefully, his heart pounding in his chest like a drum. "Who are you?" he asked, his voice echoing through the grand concert hall. "Why are you playing here?" The Phantom Pianist turned towards him, a glimmer of surprise in her ethereal eyes. "I am Emily," she said, her voice as soft as a summer breeze. Her shimmering form seemed to sway with the rhythm of her words, a spectral dance that mesmerized James. Emily began to share her tale, a story woven with the threads of time and passion. "I was a pianist here in the Serenity Opera House many years ago," she said, her spectral fingers drifting over the piano keys as if they longed to play. "Music was my life, my soul ... It was the air I breathed." She spoke of her life filled with the vibrant notes of symphonies, the soft melodies of sonatas, and the passionate rhythms of concertos. Her fingers danced on the piano keys, creating an ethereal melody that echoed her words. "But my life was cut short," Emily continued, her voice a whisper of sorrow. "I died young, and my spirit has been bound to this place ever since." Her words hung in the air, a melody of melancholy that resonated with the haunting echoes of the piano. James listened, captivated by Emily's tale. He watched as the Phantom Pianist played her spectral symphony, lost in the rhythm of her story. The grand concert hall seemed to breathe with her, every note echoing the tale of a life cut short and a spirit bound by the chains of unfulfilled dreams. Emily's story was a melody of love and loss, a symphony of a life lived passionately and a death that came too soon. Her spirit, bound to the opera house, continued to play the music she loved, a haunting melody that echoed through the grand halls of the Serenity Opera House. As Emily's ethereal voice faded, James was left with the task of solving a mystery that transcended the boundaries of the living world. With Emily's haunting story echoing in his ears, Detective James pondered on the mystery of the Phantom Pianist. He found himself drawn to the ethereal figure of Emily, her love for music, and her lingering spirit that continued to fill the opera house with her haunting melodies. The mystery was not one of intrusion or crime, but a tale of undying passion for music that echoed from beyond the grave. James decided to honor Emily's spirit and her profound love for music. He recognized the need to acknowledge her existence not as an eerie phantom, but as a symbol of the city's cultural heritage, a testament to the timeless power of art. James proposed a plan to Mr. Hawthorne, the opera house director. They would host a special concert in Emily's memory, allowing her music to be heard once again. This event would not only honor Emily but also celebrate the city's rich artistic heritage. And so, preparations for the concert began. The news spread throughout Serenity Falls, attracting a mix of curiosity and excitement among the city's residents. The Grand Serenity Opera House, once shadowed by mystery, was now a beacon of intrigue and anticipation. On the night of the concert, the opera house was filled to the brim. The audience held their breath as the grand piano on stage, bathed in an ethereal glow, began to play. The haunting melodies echoed through the hall, the keys moving with precision as if guided by an unseen hand. The music was beautiful, melancholic, filled with a sense of longing and a hint of joy. It was Emily expressing her undying love for music, her spirit free to perform before an audience once again. The concert was a resounding success. The audience was moved not just by the beautiful music, but also by the extraordinary story behind it. The city of Serenity Falls had come together, united by music, mystery, and a love that transcended life and death. As Emily's music filled the concert hall, the mystery of the Serenity Opera House was finally resolved, uniting the city in a celebration of music, mystery, and a love that transcended life and death.